それではただいまより、公開講演会惑星探査50年の発見の歩みと題する公開講演会を始めさせていただきます。本日はご来場あるいは YouTube でのご参加ありがとうございます。本日の司会進行を務めさせていただきます日本学士委員会員の家正則と申します。本日の公開講演会は今年の3月にエドワード・ストーン博士が日本学士院の客員に選定されたということを記念して企画いたしました。本日はエドワード・ストーン博士にボイジャー計画を軸にしたご講演、それから宇宙科学研究所副所長の藤本正樹先生にはやぶさ2を軸にしたご講演、そして国立天文台教授の深川美里先生に系外惑星系の観測を軸にしたご講演をお願いしております。この講演会は日本学士院、国立天文台、宇宙科学研究所、それにカリフォルニア工科大学の共催を得て開催の運びとなりました。最初のご講演者でありますエドワード・ストーン博士はボイジャー計画の責任者で1970年代から先月まで45年間にわたってボイジャー計画のプロジェクトサイエンティストを務めてこられました。またジェット推進研究所の所長としてあるいは5カ国協力の国際プロジェクトであります30メートル望遠鏡 TMT の統括責任者として長年ご活躍されてきました。本日の講演会に向けてこの春から準備を進めていただいてたんですがちょっと夏頃から体調を崩されまして本日は講演資料の準備を務めてこられましたカリフォルニア工科大学の学術資産室長のデイビッド・ジグラー博士に来ていただいております。でご講演もデイビッド・ジグラー博士の代読という形にさせていただきます。直接お話をお伺いできなくて大変残念なんですが、ご体調ということでこの点どうぞご了解をお願いいたします。講演に先立ちましてエド・ストーン博士に日本学士院の客員メダルの授与を日本学士院第2部部長野頼良次会員より行います。野頼先生お願いします。ご本人に代わりエド・ストーンさんの代わりにデイビッド・ジグラー博士に授与のメダルを受け取っていただきます。
On behalf of Professor Edward Stone, thank you very much. Arigato.
.それでは早速ですが、エドワード・ストーン博士のビデオ講演、日本語字幕付きですが、これを始めさせていただきたいと思います。音が出ない。失礼しました。
Director of the Caltech Heritage Project at the California Institute of Technology. In preparation for this tremendous honor, I spent many hours with Dr. Edward Stone to capture great moments from his life and career. Dr. Stone's achievements are central to the creation of space physics and planetary science, and he saw this recognition by the Japan Academy as an opportunity to reflect on some highlights in his life and to express his appreciation to the Japan Academy in particular and his many collaborators and friends in Japan who have helped make possible so many discoveries about our universe. The following remarks, prepared with Dr. Stone, serve as his acceptance of this honor and capture his memories over a very long and singular career in science. Thank you. My induction into the Japan Academy is a great honor in my life, and I feel humbled and privileged by this recognition. I would like to thank the members of the Japan Academy, many of whom I have called colleagues and friends over the course of my career. A life in science is a life of collaboration, and what I have been able to accomplish is possible only because of the dedication, brilliance, and professionalism of countless scientists, engineers, and administrators with whom I have worked at the California Institute of Technology, the Jet Propulsion Laboratory and NASA, the California Association for Research in Astronomy, and the 30-meter telescope International Observatory. To each and every one of them, I thank you. My wife, Alice, has been an unwavering source of support, encouragement, and love for the better part of my life, and words cannot express what it has meant to have her with me every step of the way. There are two aspects of my career that I would like to highlight in my remarks today. First, the Voyager mission. In the early 1970s, two significant professional developments shaped my career. At Caltech, I achieved the status of tenure on the faculty, and at the Jet Propulsion Laboratory, JPL, under NASA, I was named project scientist for the Voyager mission. In yet another instance of serendipitous timing, events conspired to provide me professional opportunity beyond what I ever could have imagined. The origins of the Voyager program were in the 1960s and through the Mariner program, for which JPL designed and built space probes to explore our inner solar system, Venus, Mars, and Mercury. Thanks to an extraordinary discovery by Gary Flandreau, a Caltech graduate student working at JPL, NASA determined that it could take advantage of planetary alignment of Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, and Neptune that would allow for a grand tour of these giant outer planets through gravitational assists from one planet to the next. From there, Voyager would go out beyond Pluto and ultimately beyond our solar system and into interstellar space. Flandreau's calculation told us that the alignment would occur in the late 1970s and not again for another 176 years. From its inception, the Voyager mission proceeded on the basis of now or never, or at least never in our lifetimes. So the race was on. To meet the timing of the planetary alignment, we had about 5 years to get to mission launch. As project scientist for Voyager, I directed the mission's science objectives with the goal of designing two identical spacecraft, Voyager 1 and Voyager 2, each to be outfitted with instruments to measure and analyze the magnetic fields, the surfaces, the atmospheres, and in some cases, the rings of the giant planets in our outer solar system. In designing spacecraft destined for the longest trip in history, we needed to conceive of new systems to address the two most obvious challenges: how to power the spacecraft so they would be viable for decades, and how to communicate with the spacecraft traveling at distances billions of miles from Earth. Today, 45 years later, with the Voyager spacecraft operating in interstellar space beyond the solar system, we can say that both solutions we devised have stood the test of time. For the spacecraft power system, we used a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, which relies on radioactive material decaying and creating heat to generate electricity. With a half-life of 88 years, this system continues to power the Voyager spacecraft today. For communications, Voyager required the expansion and recalibration of the Deep Space Network, a NASA JPL program consisting of 3 communication facilities in California, Spain, and Australia. By arraying or connecting the satellite dishes in each of the 3 locations, we were able to enhance the signal strength so that two-way communication, what we call uplink commands from Earth, and downlink data from the spacecraft remained a viable connection right up to the present day. In the 1980s, by the time Voyager was on its way to Uranus and Neptune, I successfully argued for the expansion of the Deep Space Network's largest satellite dishes from 64 to 70 meters, further improving our communications capabilities. After intensive years of testing and prototyping, we were ready to launch from Kennedy Space Center in August 1977, according to plan. Voyager 2 launched first, followed by Voyager 1 2 weeks later, which we set on a faster trajectory. The chronology of the planetary grand tour brought Voyager 1 to Jupiter in 1979, Saturn in 1980, and interstellar space in 2012. Voyager 2 traveled to Jupiter in 1979, Saturn in 1981, Uranus in 1985, Neptune in 1989, and interstellar space in 2018. From understanding the source of Jupiter's Great Red Spot, to detecting the composition of Saturn's rings, to discovering numerous moons around Uranus and Neptune, the findings of Voyager remain the foundation of space science in our outer solar system. I will highlight 2 that are most meaningful to me. In 1979, Voyager 1 discovered massive volcanoes on Io, one of the moons of Jupiter. Not only was this our first encounter with volcanism outside Earth, we also learned that the primary source of Io's internal heat was external, coming from the tidal forces exerted by Jupiter's gravitational pull. We discovered not just the existence of volcanoes beyond Earth, but a completely different mode of volcanic action. Simply spectacular.
It was just a remarkable story how hard it was for us to take the leap that there could be a small moon with 10 times more volcanic activity than Earth. And that really opened up our eyes that we were in for a mission that was going to really stretch us in terms of our understanding of planets and the understanding of Earth. It's the things that we don't anticipate which turn out to be the most important, just that we didn't know that they were out there, whatever they were.
I feel very fortunate that my tenure as Voyager's project scientist allowed me to see both spacecraft enter the interstellar medium 35 and 41 years after launch. Milestone in and of itself, but this new phase of the Voyager mission allowed us to engage in scientific questions that connected back to the beginning of my research career in cosmic rays. Before Voyager, we could only theorize, as the solar physicist Eugene Parker did, about the size of our solar system's heliospheric bubble. We knew that there was a dividing point between the interplanetary medium and the interstellar medium. That line is called the heliopause. Inside the heliopause, we measured the density, temperature, and composition of the solar wind, the plasma that emanates from the sun. Outside the heliopause is the interstellar medium with the wind coming from other stars, and we knew that the properties of that wind would be dramatically different. But where is the heliopause? How large is the solar bubble? What is the proportional mixture of solar and stellar wind at this juncture? At what point is there no trace of solar wind from our sun? The data Voyager sent back in 2012 finally told us the boundary point of interstellar space. And every day, the Voyager mission continues to refine and expand our understanding of this vast expanse beyond our solar system, and ultimately about the universe itself. I would like to say a word about the importance of sharing the wonders of scientific discovery with the public that supports it with their tax dollars and the global community of enthusiasts with whom scientists share a sense of awe for the workings of nature. For all of the pioneering methods and discoveries that Voyager can claim, we must include among them the mission team's interest in communicating our findings around the world. We treated planetary encounters as major media events, and I considered it a personal mandate to share with the public what we were learning in real time. It is special for me to recall with particular fondness the enthusiasm of the Japanese public to learn about Voyager and to take pride in the contributions to space science undertaken by JAXA, the Japanese Aerospace Exploration Agency. Today, both Voyager spacecraft continue their flight in interstellar space, going deeper into the great unknown. All things must come to an end, and soon the day will come when the spacecraft will run out of power and the life of the mission will end. I hope Voyager will celebrate its 50-year anniversary in August and September of 2027, and I hope I am there to celebrate it. Of course, we knew there was no way to avoid mortality in the pre-launch days of design and planning for Voyager. It could not go on forever. But we did think of a workaround of sorts. We made the decision to put records, gold phonographic discs, on the spacecraft, which contain images and sounds representative of human civilization. The great Carl Sagan likened the records to time capsules, or bottles that we were launching into the cosmic ocean. I don't personally believe they will ever be accessed by alien life forms, although wouldn't that be something if they were? Instead, I think the most powerful message of these records is meant for ourselves, back on Earth. They are cause for reflection on the incredible feats humanity is capable of achieving. This is true whether or not there is life beyond us in the universe that can learn of our existence. Next, I would like to discuss ground-based astronomy. If we ever discover evidence of life beyond our planet, it is just as likely that we will make this detection from ground-based telescopes. I should say a few words about my involvement in this area. As division chair and then vice president for astronomical facilities for Caltech, I helped to ensure that the Institute would remain at the forefront in astronomy as it has been since its inception. In the 1980s, I knew that Palomar Observatory in Southern California would not remain the world's largest telescope, and this presented an opportunity to build the next generation 10-meter telescope with support from the Keck Foundation in partnership with the University of California and coordinated with the California Association for Research in Astronomy, which I helped to found. Reminiscent of the Voyager spacecraft 1 and 2, we elected to build Keck Telescope 1 and 2 in Hawaii. In creating identical instruments at a cost significantly less than twice the price of one, we doubled the number of observing nights. And in overseeing the effort to array the telescopes, with NASA building the interferometer and JPL building the connecting optics, Keck Observatory became orders of magnitude more powerful as an integrated unit than what one telescope could accomplish on its own.
That was a very bold thing because nobody had ever built a telescope like this before, and you would not know that you could succeed until you had built it. There's no way to simulate this thing on a small scale and feel that you had obviously done it on the scale you needed to build it.
Since achieving first light in the 1990s, the Keck telescopes have captured incredible images of our solar system, our Milky Way galaxy, and the universe beyond. Even in its early development, I recognized that the revolutionary design of the Keck telescopes, which relied on a segmented mirror design, could be scaled up to make ever larger telescopes capable of producing ultra-high resolution images of the farthest reaches of the universe, allowing us to learn more about exoplanets and getting us closer and closer to the Big Bang itself. These possibilities form the basis of the 30-meter telescope project.
With a mirror nearly 100 feet across, it will have unprecedented resolution of the distant universe and also the nearby universe. That means we'll be able to see the first stars that formed in the universe and the first galaxies as they formed in the universe. And we will also be able to study planets around nearby stars in the Milky Way galaxy.
My involvement in the project grew over time, and I was fortunate to be the founding executive director of the TMT International Observatory Company in 2014. I retired from that role just this year. Over the years, we have built a vibrant international collaboration, and I am proud in particular of our partnership with the National Astronomical Observatory of Japan. The original plan to build in Hawaii has proven more difficult than we anticipated, owing to concerns from members of the Hawaii community, in particular Native Hawaiians. We have made great strides in strengthening relations and building trust with the local community. I believe the culture of astronomy has improved as a result, and I remain confident that ultimately TMT will be built in Hawaii, where discoveries of the universe's most profound puzzles await. I base this confidence in part on a retrospective appreciation of the achievements of LIGO, the Laser Interferometer Gravitational Wave Observatory, co-led by Caltech and MIT. Today, we revere LIGO for its stupendous achievement in detecting gravitational waves and providing experimental verification of Einstein's general theory of relativity, which quite literally created a new way of seeing the universe. The administrative and budgetary difficulties during LIGO's early years made it anything but a foreordained success, and I am proud to have played a key administrative role in my capacity as Caltech Division Chair and through my contacts at JPL in fostering the best technical expertise and personnel decision-making that put LIGO on a path to success. As with the TMT, massive scientific collaborations are never without their challenges, but with their scientific objectives that are as profound as they are feasible, ultimately I am confident the TMT will see a path to success just like LIGO.
There are many frontiers in astronomy. Certainly one of them is to understand how the universe became what it is today. It looked much different in the early days. The stars were different, the galaxies were different, and we will now with TMT be able to really understand and observe what things looked like 13.4 billion years ago, shortly after the Big Bang. But nearby, of course, there are many, many planets now around other systems, and the capability of the TMT will be essential in looking for and understanding the nature of those planets and whether there are any possible places for life to have evolved elsewhere in the Milky Way galaxy.
In conclusion, when I look back at my life and my career, I am overcome with appreciation for good fortune in all its forms. Good fortune for the timing of global politics and planetary alignments that placed me in the right place at the right time. Good fortune in working with people the world over who embody the very best in ingenuity, good humor, and hard work, and good fortune in health that has allowed me to remain an active and engaged scientist now in my 10th decade of life. If not for the countless people who mentored and provided encouragement to me, none of this would have been possible. As I survey the field of space physics and exploration, I feel so grateful to have mentored many of today's leaders, whom, I hope, have benefited from what advice and support I have been able to share. Playing a role in the vital generational transmission of scientific knowledge is perhaps my proudest achievement. On behalf of my entire family who shares in this great honor with me, I would like to say thank you again to the Japan Academy, and may this recognition only strengthen our shared commitment to discovery.
はい、20分のビデオ講演、ちょっと字幕を追うのが少し忙しかったかもしれませんが、これでおしまいにします。ちょっと僭越ではありますが、私の方からのこの講演の内容について若干数枚のスライドで補足させていただきたいと思います。ボイジャー2号はですね、惑星、太陽の周りを公転している惑星のすぐ後ろを通ると惑星に引っ張られて加速することができます。前を通ると減速します。こういうメカニズムをうまく使ってボイジャー2号はご覧のように、ポインターが出ないかな、木星、土星、天王星、海王星を順番に回っていくというそういう軌道に打ち上げられました。2週間後に打ち上げたボイジャー1号は木星と土星を通った後、よりスピードアップをして太陽系の外へ駆け足で出ていくという、そういう軌道を取ったんですね。この辺はエドストン博士が2つの探査機の役割をうまく振り分けたわけです。左側のビデオは木星の表面の雲の動きをたくさんの画像からビデオにしたものですが、大赤斑というちょっと真ん中より下に見えている大きな目玉が渦巻いていて、その上とか下の雲の動きと非常に複雑な動きをしているのが分かりますよね。こういう見事な映像がボイジャーで撮られました。さらに土星の輪については近くまで行ったので、輪の上に何かスポークのような模様が見えるとか、輪の黒い隙間のところに惑星があったりして、その輪の中の隙間がどうやってできるのかという、そういう問題に発展したりしています。天王星と海王星の表面もこれは非常によく映るようになりまして、これで人類の太陽系に対する描像が実感として変わったんだと思うんですね。ストーン博士も一番印象に残ったのの一つが、この木星の衛星イオの火山噴火の発見だとおっしゃっています。地球の火山と違って木星のイオの噴火は表面は非常に冷たい氷の世界ですので、その中なんか内部に熱い熱源があって噴火がするわけですが、その熱源は何だろうというと、木星、巨大な惑星木星によって潮汐力っていうんですけども、衛星イオが引っ張られたり押し縮められたりして、そして熱を発する。それが噴火になったということが分かったんですね。こういうことで惑星科学がいろいろ新しい発見をいたしました。ビデオでも出てきましたカール・セーガンのデザインしたゴールデンディスクですね。これにはこんな模様が書いてありますが、この上の左側は音楽レコードの読み方、右側はビデオファイルの読み方を図示しています。で、右の下にはなんか2つメガネみたいなのがありますが、これは宇宙で一番多い原子である水素原子が模型を描いています。宇宙文明でも科学者がいたら水素原子、水素分子、そういうものの模型っていうのを考えているだろうから、これで話が通じるんではないかと。そして左下は太陽の周りの14個のパルサーっていう非常に特徴的なポッポッポッと光る天体ですね。これとの位置関係を示していまして、別の文明で天文学者がいたらこのゴールデンディスクがどこから来たかが分かるかもしれないと、そういうことで作ってあるんですね。ただストーン博士も言いましたように、これは実際に宇宙人に拾われることは多分ないと思いますが、こういうものを考えるということが人類文明は何なのか、宇宙の中でどういう位置づけにあるのかということを考えるきっかけになったんですね。それを作ったのがボイジャーだったんではないかなと思います。 ボイジャーが太陽系の外へ出たというのは2つ目の大きな成果ですが、これはその時のデータを示しています。これはボイジャー2号の粒子数をカウントしてたデータが遠くから電波で報告されるんですが、ある時に急激に変わったということで、ここで何か宇宙の状態が違うところへ突っ込んだということを非常に明確に物語ったんですね。後半でストーン博士は地上望遠鏡計画にも非常に関わったということをお話しされました。ハワイのマウナケアにケック望遠鏡っていう2台の望遠鏡、ボイジャーの1号2号と同じように2台の望遠鏡を作ったんですが、これが大活躍しています。で、私たち国立天文台はすぐその隣にスバル望遠鏡を建設して、観測をお互いに競い合ったり、あるいは協力し合ったりして宇宙の観測を進めています。こういう協力関係をもとにですね、日米カナダ中国インドの5カ国によるもっと大きな望遠鏡30メートル望遠鏡を作ろうということで2000年代から随分協議を重ねてきまして、2014年に国際天文台を設立しまして、ストーン博士はその初代の責任者となられました。で、今年の初めまで、務められました。この30メートル望遠鏡は実は日本がスバルを作った経験を生かして、設計制作をするという分担になっています。それからさらに30メートルの鏡は大きすぎて作れませんし運べませんので、約500枚の小さな鏡を敷き詰めてあたかも1枚の鏡のように作るんですが、そのガラス、特殊なガラスは全部日本製です。でも7割以上のガラスが日本で完成しています。説明にもありましたが、ちょっとハワイで、山頂工事が遅れて中断してますけれども、アメリカの政府の再開の手続きなんかが進められておりますので、この望遠鏡がマウナケアに完成いたしますと、山頂にあるスバル望遠鏡が広い空を見るのが得意な望遠鏡ですから、スバル望遠鏡で何を見るべきかっていうのを、日本の研究者が主になって発見し、それを TMT で詳しく観測するという、そういう連携プレーができるということで、日本だけではないんですけれども、非常に期待が高まっているというわけであります。ちょっとフィルムに加えて、若干の補足説明をさせていただきました。それではちょっとご本人おられませんので、第1番目の講演に対する質疑応答はなしとさせていただきます。ご清聴ありがとうございました。